Friends, we will now start the third day of the Saptaha, and before the discourse, I request Lakshmi to say us with an invocation.
बंसीधरा कन्हैया घनश्याम सुंदरा बंसीधरा कन्हैया घनश्याम सुंदरा गिरिधारी गोप बाला वृंदावन विहारा बंसीधरा कन्हैया घनश्याम सुंदरा गोविंद माधवा हरे मधुसूदना मुकुंदा राधे गोविंद राधे गोपाल राधे गोविंद राधे साई गोविंद राधे गोपाल राधे गोविंद राधे बंसीधरा कन्हैया घनश्याम सुंदरा वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय।
तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यं सूरयः तेजो वारिमृतां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुकं सत्यं परं धीमहि निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसमेतं पिबत भागवतं मुहुरालयं मुहुर्हो रसिका भुवि भावकाः कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः नमो महद्भ्यः. First of all, let me prostrate at the feet of Lord Sri Krishna and all the saints, sages and distinguished friends. It is the third day of Srimad Bhagavad Saptaha. Yesterday I was just referring how a very ordinary, gullible, innocent lady, Devahuti, asked a small question to her son Kapila, who is none other than Lord himself. I am a very ordinary woman, no knowledge, no idea, no tactics, no Shastra, no Vedic scriptures, not even experience, understanding. For such very, very ordinary, down-to-earth lady, is there no sadhana? Is there no mukti? Then he tells sadhana and mukti are completely different from all the qualifications that you have chose. It is the bhakti, Shuddha bhakti. And bhakti comes from your positive sattvic manas. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayo. All the traps are laid by our own mind. All the releases and experiencing the wonderful heavenly things, it is in our own mind. Swarga and Naraka are not at the geographical continents somewhere in a distant area. It is within. The God is within. And God is without also. Without us, He is there. Within us, He is there. And you have to experience Him everywhere outside. Close the eyes, experience Him. Think of Him. That is the heaven, that is the Swarga, that is the moksha. Always, if your mind is divine, positive, happy state, peaceful, thinking of His Leela, His Mahima, His Mahati, His Avataras, His Leelas, that itself is a very heavenly experience. That is a moksha sukha. When she attains such a moksha sukha, he disappears because he has given so much of divine knowledge. Now she thinks with perfect understanding of the God, after experiencing the Sakshatkar of the Lord, after getting so much of knowledge, there is no need to remain on the earth doing mundane activities, eating the same food. It is not needed now at this juncture. So she decides, determines, closes her eyes, gives a stimulation, and the whole first she started sweating here on the forehead. The entire face started sweating. The body was sweating. It was not sweating, the entire body of Devabhuti gradually, naturally, effortlessly, without anybody knowing or even she not feeling, it melted, entire thing became water. It started flowing down. It started flowing down. And the water started moving and it joined the Saraswati river. Long back there was an English film called as Terminator, you must have seen that. In the Terminator, they used a wonderful concept where the hero was going, suddenly he converts himself into water, into flows, and the villain also develops the same strategy and he also becomes a water and he flows and they catches up and all that. For a long time I was wondering where from they got the concept. It is here in the Kapila Gita. And so much of knowledge and devotion joining the Saraswati river, and Saraswati river becoming an embodiment, a personification, a liquefaction of knowledge. It flows on both the sides of the Saraswati river. The ashrams, the hermitages, the bhavans, the sages, the saints, and the people, scholars, intellectuals, professors, students, all those people who are touched by the Saraswati, they become knowledgeable, scholarly, spiritual, intellectual. Today, just think, these Gauda Saraswata Brahmins, they start banks, they are the best accountants, they are the best financial administrators, they are the best commercial administrators, and they are very good in the promotion of the business, conducting of the business, and auditors, most of them they are auditors. The intellectual knowledge, skill, they are extraordinary, and most of them are highly spiritual. GSP conducts Ganesha festival in Bombay, hundreds and hundreds of crores they spend on that, the golden Ganesha. On this Devabhuti, Akuti, Prasuti, they are the daughters of Swayambhu Manu, Shatarupa Devi. Then sons, Uthanapada, Priyavrata. Priyavrata is the elder one. What is in the name? Everything speaks in the name itself. Priyavrata. From the very childhood, he was interested, liking, loving, vrata, niyama, austerity, puja, archana, reading the scriptures, doing the penance, tapasya, ultimately decided to go to the forest, sit for tapasya. Automatically and naturally, the other person was Uthanapada and he was made as king. Uttarapada was a very great ruler, the very first ruler after Swayambhu Manu. Naturally, he had all the ethics, all the character, all the wonderful divinity. He was liking the niti, he was loving the niti, ethics. So when he was liking the niti and loving the niti, he got into niti and he got that niti, loved that niti, married that suniti. But how long you can carry on only with the lady with ethics only? He is a king, he has to go for shopping, has to go malls, and he has to go outings, he has to outreach also. When he goes like that, then he tastes the taste of the taste. Though he started liking the taste now, loving the taste now, he loved Ruchi, he liked Ruchi, he married Suruchi. So when you are completely engrossed in the taste, who cares about the ethics and character? I say, Suniti, the elderly wife, was shunted to the outhouse. She had a son. Suniti had a son, Dhruva, polar star, permanent star. Surji also has a son. He was not bad, he was better. Uttama. One day in the Rajya Sabha, the king and the queen, Uttanapada and Surji, are conducting the Rajya Sabha. Both them are sitting. On the lap of the father, Suruchi's son Uttama is sitting. Dhruva, coming out of the outhouse of Suniti, comes to this council hall, looks at the father, his father's lap, Uttama is sitting there. Dhruva, 5 years small boy, innocent boy. Father, he was loving father like anything. Out of the natural affinity, affection, love towards the father, he rushes there, runs there, about to jump and sit on the lap of the father. Immediately within seconds, Mother Suruchi was alerted. She got up, stopped him. Stop, I say, get back. He could not understand. He told, if at all you want to sit on the lap of your father, not now. Go to the forest, perform tapasya, have the sakshatkara, get the boon from the God that you will be born as my son in the next janma. Then only you will be empowered and entitled to sit on the lap of your father. Not now, get lost. He was a Kshatriya son. He felt offended, he felt affected, felt insult. Crying, he came to the outhouse, told everything to the mother. Mother told one thing, in spite of listening to all these things, that lady talking to you, if your father was keeping silent, that means to say, whole palace will be silent. When the father, the king himself is not supporting you or not coming to your rescue, nobody comes to our rescue. But even here, one great thing has happened. That lady, Suruchi, has shown you a wonderful way. She has not asked you to run away from the palace and all that. She has asked you to go to the forest, perform tapasya, have darshan of Lord, get the boon from the Lord. Wonderful, wonderful. Except the God, for we people, nobody can rescue us now. So, go to the forest. I know you are a small child of 5 years. It's a wild forest, but I am so helpless. Except sending you to the forest, I don't have any alternative. But remember one thing, just because she has insulted you, don't think ill of her. She has shown you the Mangala, Shubha, very good direction. So don't think of Amangala to your Chikkamma. Think always good of her. So blessed, Dhruva started walking towards forest. It was a terrific forest, intense forest, wild forest. He comes there. Suddenly, the crude, cruel and violent environment of the forest come in front of that small boy, 5 years. Slightly fear started. But mother has blessed, commanded that you have to go to the forest and perform tapasya irrespective of whatever it is. So she came. He comes there. Suddenly one veena sound comes. Mahati veena sound comes. Narayana Narayana comes. Narada comes there. Narada comes and looks at this small child of 5 years rushing towards the forest. He stops that boy. I say, a 5 year small fellow, the terrific forest, wild forest, and in the house, in every family, there will be small hiccups. misunderstandings. Just because of one small hiccup and misunderstanding, you cannot run away from the house. These are very common, particularly in the palaces and ashrams. Get back, I say. My mother has told me I have to go and perform tapasya. See, this is forest, this is not your temple, this is not your palace. In this forest, wild animals, cruel animals, violent animals, cunning animals, they will be there. And you are a small boy, you can't face. Dhruva says, I have seen all such cunning and cruel animals and humans in my palace. How dare you come to this forest? I said, since 10,000 years, nobody has stepped in, nobody dared to enter this forest, and you small boy, you are coming to this forest, get back. No, I have come here to do tapasya, I will go and perform tapasya. You know the spelling of tapasya? Meaning of tapasya? What do you know about tapasya? How you can perform tapasya? Immediately Dhruva tells Narada, Swamiji, just now you told, since 10,000 years no human being has stepped into this forest. And you have come now. Just now you have told that I am a small boy, I don't know how to perform tapasya. You are a master of tapasya and you have come here. God has sent you to teach me and train me how to perform tapasya. Teach me now. Now Narada is floored. Narada embraces, blesses, takes the child, lifts the child, brings his mouth nearer to the ears, asks the child to close his eyes. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is the tapo mantra for your age. You did not do Vedic description, Vedic scriptures. This one line is sufficient, but it is powerful and power packed. First day I told, even now for this Kali Yuga, for we people, the most important Maha Mantra, Bija Mantra, Kilaka Mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reason, in body we have all grown up. In our mind, in our spirituality, in our understanding, in our inner growth, we are just like Dhruva. 5 years, we stopped there. So whatever that holds good for Dhruva, it holds good for us also. He blesses, Dhruva comes for 5 months, closes his eyes, thinks of Vasudeva. Narada has given the rupa form of Vasudeva and the mantra, Maha Mantra, Vasudeva Mantra. So closed his eyes, Dhruva. Internally, he placed that Vasudeva Rupa. He placed that Vasudeva Mantra on his tongue, started doing tapasya for 5 months. Intense tapasya. Ultimately, in the 5th month, the whole world, including Devaloka, everybody was suffocated. Everybody experiencing the heat of the tapasya of the Dhruva. Then all the gods immediately rushes towards Vasudeva. Now Vasudeva sits on Garuda and comes, stands in the front of Dhruva. Dhruva is seeing Vasudeva inside, but real Vasudeva has come just in front of him, is standing there. He is waiting. For the first time in the history of the world, God is in the waiting list for a bhakta. But Dhruva did not open his eyes because he is happily enjoying the blissful sakshatkara, darshan of Vasudeva inside. Now, Lord thinks, let me try this. The inner Vasudeva disappeared, it faded out. He got disturbed, Dhruva got disturbed, opened his eyes. Same Vasudeva is here. He could not believe what has happened. He could not open his mouth. He did not know what to do. It was so amazing for him. But he came here to do tapasya to ask for a boon that God should actually bless him so that he will be able to sit on the lap of his father. That was the intention of coming. He has forgotten all that. No word is coming out. Then Vasudeva, who is having Shankha in his hand, touches the Shankha to the cheek of the child. Shankha means Lakshmi, Vedamate. The moment it is touched, Dhruva outpours. Yom ta pravishya mamo vachamimam prasuptam sanjeevayatyakila shakti dharaswadhamna anyancha hastacharana shravanatvagadin prana namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. Says, the touch you have made here, the sight you have given here, ears you have given and I am listening, prana you have given, that Chaitanya I am just living here. I am enjoying your blissful darshan. Bless me. Then Lord himself reminds him, Dhruva, you have come to ask for a boon of actually sitting on the lap of your father with pride. Now I am blessing you. You are not merely sitting on the lap of your father, you are sitting on the simhasana of your father. No king in the past and no king in the future will be able to have this type of record. For 36,000 years you will be ruling this world. Then afterwards you will become the leader of the Jyotirmandala. People will call you as the polar star. So God disappeared. Dhruva is now coming. Narada comes and informs, intimates to Uttanapada. Uttanapada was actually, he was very much offended. He falls at the feet of Narada and tells that I am ashamed to tell you that I did not take care of my small Dhruva. Mercilessly I sent him out to the forest. I don't know what wild animal must have eaten him, bitten him. Narada consoles, says, he had the darshan of Lord Vasudeva with full blessing. Hey, he is coming now. With all the paraphernalia and the entire military honors, Dhruva was received. Dhruva was received by Uttanapada, Suniti and Suruchi. Suruchi embraces and cries. Then Narada says, when God himself has embraced Dhruva, who will have enmity, animosity with Dhruva? World accepted him. For 36,000 years he ruled the world. Afterwards, but simultaneously one small thing has happened there. His Suruchi's son Uttama one day went for hunting. One yaksha developed a quarrel. Quarrel resulted in a fight. In the fight, yaksha killed Uttama. Dhruva was informed that yaksha has killed Uttama, Suruchi's son. Dhruva took the entire army to the Kubera's army and started very huge battle with the Kubera's army, Yaksha's army. Massive battle took place. Now the grandfather of Dhruva, Swayambhu Manu, immediately appears there, stops the battle, tells Dhruva, Dhruva, you had the darshan of Lord Vasudeva, blessings of Vasudeva, Sakshatkara Vasudeva. Still, if you have actually descended to this level of mental state of fighting, waging the war, doing the war with Kubera, this is not proper. Please stop the war. Ask excuse from Kubera. Then Kubera feels happy. Kubera tells Dhruva, you know that you are liked, loved, protected, preserved and blessed by Lord Vasudeva. So I have to give a boon to you. Ask any boon that you want, I am going to give that vara to you. Dhruva says, even after having the darshan and blessing of Lord, still I could not control that anger and irritation. I could not continuously, in a stream like, maintain that bhakti pravaha. It stopped for a while. Please bless me. In future, till my last second of my life, nothing should stop my bhakti pravaha. That is what. Then, after 36,000 years, he goes to the Jyotir Mandala and he becomes the leader of the Jyotir Mandala. The grahas and stars and the niharikes and the whole the sky pattern, everything revolved around Dhruva's leadership. From there, a wonderful, beautiful palace was created that in Jyotir Mandala for Dhruva. And a celestial flight arrived. Deva Vimana arrived to take Dhruva to that greatest palace, celestial palace in Jyotir Mandala. Dhruva was welcomed. When Dhruva was asked by these people to get into the flight, we will start off, he says, if at all today I am enjoying all these things, I have all the privileges and I could do all these things, it is purely because of the dare and devil, decision, determination, divinity. I have mother and her blessing, her support, her confidence, her conviction in her son. Because of my mother, I could do all these things. And if you can take my mother also to that palace and that celestial heights, I will come. Otherwise, I don't want all those things. Then they say, Dhruva, please come out. Yes. This is your flight. In front of your flight, there's another flight. Can you see that? Yes. On the left side, just see, peep over there. There is a lady format sitting there. That is your mother. Already the first boarding pass we have issued to her. Then only we have come to you. Dhruva's story is not an ordinary story. We think that children, just they can play, they can do some games, they can play something. In yesterday's Vijay, I have given one, you must have seen that. ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನು ಅದ್ಭುತವನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್. Dhruva was a 5-year person. The mother took. It is not a risk. Confidence of the parents. In America, you must have seen that in America. They have confidence. 3 months, 6 months, maybe they throw into the swimming pool. The confidence. Let it struggle. Let it start taking the risk. Here, 32-year boy, but parents are afraid of sending 32-year fellow to their swimming pool. Situation. In the Dhruva's parampara, there came a Raja, a king called Angaraja. Very great dharmic king. He was called Rajarshi. His wife was Sunithe. And he conducted the entire administration, governance in such a very, very divine, respectful way. People were very happy. And all the rishis, they came and they actually honored him, felicitated him with the title Rajarshi. He had a son called Vena. That fellow was a very, very violent fellow, very wild fellow. Criminal-minded fellow. Always, what is the type of the game that the child Vena was playing? Was going outside the palace. While going, he was taking very big bag he was taking. And if there are children without the security, the parents alone, if the children are playing there, silently and secretly was going and taking the child, putting into his bag. Just like that, collecting 3, 4, 5 children, closing the bag, tying the bag, and bringing it to the lake or the river or ocean, throwing the bag. This is the type of the heinous crime that the small fellow, Vena, has developed. Then if the fellow goes to the forest, all types of birds and cows and whatever that he has seen, simply butchering like anything. And started robbing, looting everything. Ultimately, people people, they came to the rishis. They said, he has become incorrigible, irreparable, horrible, damaging. He is a destroyer of the civic society. None of us we are having peace of mind, happiness under his rule. Please come and advise. All the rishis, they came from the forest and advised him, say, you are king, you come in Dhurav's parampara, Angaraja's parampara, we are all there to protect you, we are there to guide you. He says that, I am changing the constitution now. First amendment to the constitution of India, Sanatana Bharat, was done by this fellow. He says, what was his constitutional amendment? Na yashtavyam, na datavyam, na hotavyam dvijati kuchitu idanyariyad dharmam bheri goshena sarvataha. In my country, in future, from today, nobody should do any yaga, yagna, havan, home, puja. All the temples will be locked down from today. There should not be any Vedic chanting anywhere. And if anybody is performing any Vedic chanting, any puja, any archana, any arati, any homa, havan, yagna, yaga, immediately that fellow will be prosecuted and put behind the bars. They said, this is a tradition. He said, this is our parampara, this is Sanatana Dharma, your forefathers were all doing. He says, I also know the Vedic Dharma. What is that? Raja Pratyaksha Devata. That fellow quotes this. Raja Pratyaksha Devata. I am the God. And if you want to do Abhisheka, do Abhisheka to me. Archana, do it to me. Arati, do it to me. Want to do any Kanike, give it to me. Then they could not take it, they could not tolerate. That fellow said, when I am there as the God, if you are still actually worshipping other gods, you are like street ladies, prostitutes. For rishis used that word. Then they said, oh, this fellow has to be taught a lesson. All the rishis encircled him, closed their eyes with one hunkara. Hunkara is more powerful than Omkara when it comes from rishis. With one hunkara, that fellow fell dead. He died. Now there is no asker, no teller, no king and no governance, no administration. No asker and no teller. So robbing, looting, people lost safety and security. Law and order has become a very big issue. Once again, all the ministers and all the people, they went to the forest and begged the rishis, please see, something is immediately done, come back. So they came. Here what happened, when they did hunkara, the very power of the hunkara of the rishis made the fellow to fall dead. They got back, and Vena's mother, Sunite, so fond of him, she did not allow the dead body to be cremated. She prepared some type of chemical oil and a very huge vessel. Pouring that chemical oil, she preserved the dead body of this Vena. At least I can see the face of my son. With that idea, she preserved it. Now rishis, they come back, they summon the Sunita. Are you having brother? Your husband's brother? Any cousins? Blood relatives? Any DNO connection? He said, nobody is there. Then immediately they remembered, yes, your son Vena, he fell dead. What happened to his body? Now they are all rishis. They have the Divya Dushti and Yoga Dushti, and she cannot cheat. She confessed, I have preserved his body. Bring it here. She brought the body. Then all the rishis, they just stood in circle around that body. Then they churned the thigh of that dead body. Immediately from the thigh, one fellow, a dwarf fellow, a black fellow, dark-haired, entire body full of hair, looking ugly, fellow jumped out of it and asked rishis, you have made me to come out. What shall I do? What shall I do? Nishada, Nishada, Nishada. They said that, yes, sit here. You will be Nishada. He was the forefather, the first person for all these tribal people all around the world, Nishadas. Then They took the right shoulder of that Venus body. Closing their eyes, Rishis churned that. Immediately there emerged most beautiful, most fascinating, most enchanting, most divine, Sakshat Vishnu type of personality emerged. Ajanubahu emerged. When the left shoulder was churned by Rishis, a beautiful lady, almost like Mahalakshmi, she emerged. Then Esho Vishnu Bhagavataha Kala Bhuvanapalini Iyancha Lakshma Sambhoti Purushasya Napayini. That gentleman who was Ajanubahu and who was looking like Sakshat Vishnu, he was called by Rishis as Pruthu. This lady who appeared almost like Mahalakshmi, she was called as Archi, Pruthu and Archi. Immediately within next second, Kubera just descended with a Ratna Simhasana, both the Simhasanas, and he requested both the Pruthu and Archi to sit on Simhasana. Varuna descended, he was holding Shveta Chhatra. Then Vayudeva came and he did the Chamara Seva. Saraswati came and she gave a beautiful, beautiful golden garland. Devendra brought the crown, golden kirita, and he placed it on Pruthu. Sakshat Mahavishnu now emerged. He gave Sudarshana Chakra to Pruthu Chakravarti. Chandra brought wonderful chariots with golden horses which had Chaitanya and which could move and take this fellow. Maharudra Deva, Parameshwara came and he gave mystical sword. The very touch of the sword can kill any millions of people. That was the power of that sword given by Maharudra. Samudra Raja came and gave wonderful Shankha. Parvati gave the shield. Bhudevi came and provided Padukas. Vandi, Magadha and all the Sutas, they did the felicitation, Prashamsa. Immediately Pruthu says, please stop all these things. Hey Suta, hey Magadha, Saumya Vandin, Loke Dhuna Spashta Gunasya Me Syat, Kimashriyo vas Tavayesha Yojitam, Mamaya Bhuvan Vitagiro Ha. Hey Suta, hey Magadha, hey Vandi, stop your appreciation. I have not even started anything for that matter. Already I have started appreciating. But I understand one thing. When somebody honors you, respects you, felicitates you with a garland, with a shawl, don't refuse it. Telling them, I am not a big man, I say. I'm not deserving that. Take it back. Whenever somebody honors you, felicitates you, respects you, gives something to you, gives something to you, don't refuse it, don't reject it, accept that. And in what way? Take it, making you as the instrument. They are performing the puja to God who is there in you through this equipment. That should be the anusandhana, that you have to receive it, not rejecting it. So he was very happy. It was a celebration, and all the gods and goddesses. Now after the gift and celebration, all of them, they disappeared. He comes out of the palace. Within the palace, such a fantastic celebration mood, divinely gods arriving. Now comes out of the palace. Outside the main gate of the palace, thousands and thousands of his subjects and his people are virtually crying, starving. He looks at them. Who are you? We are your subjects. We are your people. We are your prajas. How is that you look so pale, so thin? Why are you crying? Then they say, it is since months we have not eaten anything, not even drop of water. This earth is hiding all the seeds, all the crops, all the fruits, all the vanaspatis, all the medicines, even water. We are deprived of everything. Many have already died. We are on the verge of dying. You have come. Please save us. Give us water. Give us food. Give us seeds. Give us medicine. Give us vanaspati. Give us life. Give us Chaitanya. Prithu was so happy internally, suddenly becomes so wild here. He takes that sword which was just given by Mahadeva. He says that it is this earth which has swallowed and hiding everything without giving anything to you. He addresses now to the earth. In another 1 second, I can just with this sword, I can burn you into ashes for that matter with my capacity. And with my yoga siddhi, I can create another earth through which I will be able to feed my people. You are hiding the water, you are hiding the seeds, you are hiding the food, depriving everything to my people, my subjects. Immediately fearing, the Bhudevi appears in front of me, says, yes, they are right. I am hiding all these things because your father Vena, you have emerged out of your father Vena. Vena was a criminal fellow, violent fellow, always had the company of the gangsters, looters, robbers with him. They were robbing all the sense and essence of the earth, and I did not like this to go to these undeserving people. So deliberately I was hiding that. Now, great man you have come, great king you have come, real God you have come, Sakshat Vishnu you have come. Bring a cow, bring a vessel, take whatever you want. Bring a cow, bring a vessel, take whatever you want. Then he called Swayambhu Manu, made him as the cow, and entire vanaspatis, medicinal herbs, the food plants, whatever absolutely vital and essential for people living, everything he took out from that cow. Rishis, he asked Rishis, she has given open offer for everybody to take everything out of her. So bring a cow, bring a vessel, take whatever you want. So Rishis brought Bruhaspati as the cow, and they made the ears and the mouth as the vessels, and they got Vedavani. Then Prithu called gods, please come, whatever you want to take it. Gods made Indra as the cow, they brought the golden vessel, and in that they got Amruta, Virya, Ojas, Tejas, Dhatu, Dharana Shakti. Then he was not partial or prejudicial. He called Daityas and Danavas. Whatever you want to take it. Daityas and Danavas, they made Prahalada as the cow, and they brought iron vessel, and they got alcohol. Gandharvas and Apsaras, they brought Padmapatra, lotus as the vessel. They made Vishwavasu as the cow. They got Gandharva Vidya, music, dance, arts, fine arts, all these Lalita Kala and Gandharva Vidya, these Gandharvas and Apsaras. Siddhas, they made Kapila as the cow, and they got Animadi Ashtasiddhi. Vidyadharas, he asked Vidyadharas, whatever you want to take it. They come, stood near that cow. They felt like nobody in the world in the sky should stop us. Unstoppable freedom to fly anywhere to anywhere in the sky. Unstoppable capability of flying in the sky anywhere to anywhere, always at all times. Please give that. Then Yaksha, Raksha, Bhuta, Preta, Pishacha. They called Bhairava Rudra, they made Bhairava Rudra as the calf. Then the skull was the vessel, and they got alcohol blended with the blood. Then snakes came, they brought Takshaka as the cow, they got poison. Then cows had the natural calves and they got the milk, the grass, and all that. Mountains, they made Himavanta as the calf, and they got all the minerals and metals. Now, Prithu Chakravarti immensely pleased with the earth, because for all the people in all the world and all the continents, whatever they want, she has given everything abundantly without hiding anything. And he was so pleased, so happy. He declared, Prithu Chakravarti declares to the earth, Bhudevi, from today I am going to adopt you as my daughter. And he adopted her as daughter. From that day, earth is called as Prithvi. Prithu's daughter, Prithvi. And he looked at the daughter. She was good, but she was not beautiful. She was not organized. She was not arranged. She was not in proper order. So immediately, because he had all the mystical instruments with them, he started creating beautiful lawns, surfaces, constructing forts, constructing palaces, constructing canals, constructing highways, and organized earth for the first time was created by Prithu Chakravarti. In the Prithu Chakravarti's lineage, there came a king called as Prachina Barhi. Prachina Barhi was always Siddha Marada performing Yagna, Yaga, Yagda, Yaga. Entire kingdom has become the storehouse for the Darbha grass. And all the places in the entire country, it was full of Yagna Kundas. 24 hours the fellow was performing that, and he was giving the living animals for the sacrifice. For Purnahuti, he was giving real Ahuti of the living animals. One day Narada comes, looks at this fellow's fascination. This fellow had the fancy of summoning hundreds and hundreds of horses, hundreds of elephants, hundreds of cows, cutting them, killing them, telling them he is giving Purnahuti. Then Narada comes there, asks Prachina Barhi to stop for a while. He asks him, please look upwards, look into the sky, look into those world, celestial world. All the animals and all the horses or the cows or the elephants or all other animals that you have actually butchered here, they have gone there with a very wild and revengeful face. They are waiting for one fellow, they are waiting for your arrival. All of them are ready to pounce upon you, and they will kill you. That no other human being in the world has been butchered like that. They will do that. Please stop this. Please stop this. 800 years ago, Madhvacharya has given a very clear instruction. Whatever may be the type of the yagna, yaga, havana, homa you are doing, you should not offer a living animal as the sacrifice. Then he had 10 children. They are collectively called as Prachetasas. Marishe was the lady, the wife of Prachetasas. This Marishe, Prachetasas, they got a son. He was Daksha. It is the same Daksha who was in that Daksha Yagna, who insulted Mahadeva. Now, as a curse for that, now he is reborn with the same portfolio. Portfolio is creating population. Procreation is his portfolio, procreation. So Daksha comes. Daksha had a wife called as Asikni. In the Prithu Chakravarti's lineage, they came a Prachina Barhi. He had 10 sons called Prachetasas. And they married a lady called as Asikni, Marishe. They got a son called Daksha. It's the same Daksha who was in Daksha Yagna, who was that Daksha, who insulted Maharudra Deva. As a result, he was cursed. And because of that curse, he is reborn now. There also the portfolio of population creation. Here also the population creation. Daksha got married to a lady called as Asikni. Now in the first installment he said, I have taken the portfolio of population creation, so let us create 10,000 people, 10,000 children. First installment, 10,000 children. You can't do Namakarana ceremony for 10,000 children in 10,000 palaces. So what they did? They gave a collective name for the entire 10,000 people, Haryashvas. 10,000 people, Haryashvas. Haryashva 1, yes sir. Haryashva 2, yes sir. That's all. Then Narada comes. Now he is very happy. Daksha is happy because I have created 10,000 people. One fellow will be extraordinarily bright and brilliant and knowledgeable and capable of governing and administrating the whole king. So regarding the next generation of kings, I need not bother. Got 10,000 children. But Narada silently, secretly walks into the palace one day when the father Daksha was sleeping, and he calls 10,000 people. I say, you are born with such a great family. You belong to such a wonderful generation. Gods have actually blessed you people, and you want to eat in these darshinis and eateries and play the games in the palace. Go to the forest. Go to the forest. Go near Parvata, go near Mandara Parvata, sit for tapasya, do the tapasya, and when you are living, experiencing the Jivan Mukti, go. So Narada commended them and they went there. When they went there, he comes for supervision to find out whether they are really doing tapasya or not. So he comes there, Narada looks at them, and they are doing tapasya. Now he asks a question. What is that you are doing? We are doing tapasya. What do you mean by that? We are meditating. And he says, without knowing the basic meanings for the 10 tenets, any amount of tapasya that you do is just a waste, it's exercise futility. If you know the meaning for these 10 tenets, it's almost like doing complete tapasya in your life. I will ask those 10 questions to you. Please answer. Yes, sir. They are ready. The first question, Earth is so huge and so big and so magnificent, but which is the last tip of the earth? That's the first question. Last tip of the earth. Second one, there is a very huge kingdom, very big kingdom, but for the whole kingdom, there is only one man. Third one, there is one cave. With all difficulty, one can enter into the cave, but once you enter, nobody can come out of it. Which is that cave? Fourth question, there is a woman, adulterated woman. Who is that woman? Fifth question, even such an adulterated woman is married by a fellow called husband. Who is that husband? Sixth question, there is a river which flows from both the sides. Which is that river? Seventh question, a beautiful house is there, a magnificent house is there, mystical house is there, with 25 wonders, 25 mysteries and mystical wonders are there in the house. Which is that house? Eighth one, there is a swan, Hamsa, which is telling a story continuously. Which is that Hamsa? There is a wheel. Ninth question. There is a wheel. Wheel is turning, is revolving continuously, incessantly for centuries, for yugas. Many people have tried to stop the running of the wheel, moving of the wheel, spinning of the wheel. Nobody succeeded. And it's unstoppable wheel even now. Which is that wheel? The last question, 10th question. There is a father. He has got commandments. Who is the father? What are the commandments? If you answer these 10 questions, it is like you are qualified in your tapasya test. Without knowing that, even if you perform 10,000 years tapasya, it is exercise in futility. And the first question, which is the last point on the earth. Last point on the earth is if I die, the body falls. But within that, whatever that is there, that will get another body. It moves on. And that body falls, it moves on. So, this voyage, this journey, unstoppable, non-stop journey, is the last point in the earth. My connection and connectivity to this so-called earth, this planet, is the disappearance and fading out and destruction and complete elimination of that most subtle body, Sukshma Sharira, Linga Sharira, which is there. That inside every one of us, there is a Linga Sharira, Sukshma Sharira. The body is there. You get a child, you will be bewildered. Same father, same face, same voice, same mannerisms, same attitude. Where from? It is not the skin, it is not the artery, it is not the hair. It is that Sukshma Sharira which moves to that, has all the characteristic of the seed which grows into a big tree, big plant. Until that Sukshma Sharira, which is technically called as Linga Sharira, Parama Sukshma Sharira, if that goes out of this, that goes out of it and never connects to this body, then that is the end of your voyage, your journey. You will be ending this journey of birth and death. The second question is, there is one kingdom, entire kingdom, there is only one man, all other are women. Which is that kingdom? They think, they ponder over, they introspect, they contemplate and do workshop and brainstorming session, one-to-one, one-on-one. They fail, they say, Naradji, please answer yourself. Entire Brahmanda is the kingdom. Only one man, that is Lord Mahavishnu, is the Paratattva, Parabrahma, Paramatma, Bhagavan, Bhagavanta. He is the man. He is Swatantra. He is Sarvatantra Swatantra. He can do and do anything. He can do and do anything. All other people completely depending, completely relying on him. So they are all like women, depending upon the is only man. The third one, there is a cave, very difficult to enter inside, but once you enter inside, almost impossible to come back. Nobody comes back also. Who is that? Vaikuntha. Very difficult to enter into Vaikuntha, Mukti Loka. Gopala Dasu writes, Avanapurake poda janaru, Ommegana hindirugaro, ಅವನು ತಾನೇ ತನಯಾರನ್ನು ತನ್ನ ವಯವದಿಂದ ಪಡೆದವಗೆ ಒಲಿದೆಯಾತ ಕಮ್ಮಾಲು ಕುಮಿ ವಾಸುದೇವಗೆ. ಅವನ ಪುರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ ಜನರು ಒಮ್ಮೆಗಾನ ಹಿಂತಿರುಗಾರೋ. The ultimate destination, objective of a very sensible person, spiritual person in the world is to enter into that Vaikuntha, Mukti Loka, Moksha Loka. Once you enter there, nobody will be having any ambition, aspiration of coming back, returning. The next one is, there is a woman, very adulterated, very loose character woman, and 1 minute like that, another minute like that, 1 minute like that, another minute like that. That type of woman. Who is that? Narada says, it is none other than our buddhi. Our buddhi. And such woman also has got a wonderful husband. Who is that husband? None other than we are. We have that buddhi. Then there is a river that flows on both the sides. Which is that river? Our life is a river which flows on the borders of both the sides, called as life and death. Then there is a mystical house called as 25 Wonders House. Which is that? 25 Wonders. That house is nothing but our body. Mahat Tattva, self-consciousness, self-awareness, Ahankara Tattva, that is Asmite, understanding of the individuality, understanding of the ego. Then Buddhi, intellect, Manas, the mind. Then Pancha Gnanendriyas, the sight, the hearing, the smell, the taste and touch. Then Pancha Karmendriyas, speech, hands, feet, then discharging organs and reproductive organs. Pancha Tanmatras, sound, touch, form, taste and smell. Pancha Mahabhutas, earth, water, fire, air and space. And all these 24 elements are centrally controlled, monitored, directed, regulated, propelled by one Chaitana, one ultimate source, one ultimate force, that is God. And all these 25 are within us. That is why it is an amazing house, a mystical house, made of 25 elements. Then, 8th question, there is a swan which tells a story, a strange story. What is it? Which is that swan? It is nothing but Vedic scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavata, Vedas, Upanishads. Hamsa Kshira Nyaya, you know about it. Hamsa, if you pour water with the milk and give it to Hamsa, Hamsa knows the art of separating the water from the milk. It takes only milk. It avoids water. That is the speciality of the Hamsa. The speciality of the Vedic scriptures. It tells you what is good, what is bad. Avoid at any cost all bad things. At all cost, take good things. That is our Vedic scriptures. Then there is a wheel, turning wheel, spinning wheel, revolving wheel, continuously, years after year, decades, centuries, yugas, many have tried to stop it, but still everybody failed. It's unstoppable even today. Which is that wheel? Kala Chakra. Nobody can, time, Kala, cannot spare anybody, cannot care for anybody, cannot spare for anybody. Last question, there is a father, he got a commandment. Who is that father? What are his commandments? Father, my father is my father, but he has got a father, that is his father. He has got a father, his father. Like that, you have got a father, his father. All the fathers, they've got the fathers, they've got the fathers, and they've got fathers. For all these fathers, there's one father, and that is the ultimate father. ಗೋಪಾಲ್ ದಾಸರು ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾ ತಂದೆ ನಾನೇ ಅವ ತಂದೆ, ನೀ ತಂದೆ ಎಂದು ನಾ ಬಂದೆ, ನಾನೆಲ್ಲಿ ತಂದೆ ನಾನೇ ಅವ ತಂದೆ. ತಂದೆ ನೀ ತಂದೆ ಎಂದು ನಾ ಬಂದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನೀ ತಂದೆ, ನಾನಲ್ಲ ತಂದೆ, ನನ್ನ ತಂದೆ ಅವ ಅಲ್ಲ ತಂದೆ, ನೀ ತಂದೆ ನಾ ಬಂದೆ. So, ultimate father for everybody is that father. All our fathers, they are there, they take care of us as long as they are there, and they go, and everybody has to go. Then who will take care? This father. He takes care of all the fathers. What are his commandments? Think good, think God. Be in the company of the godly people, divine people. At any cost, shut the company of the worst people, vulgar people. As simple as that. He goes for the second installment creation now. Another 1,000 people. But this time, he becomes very cautious. He puts extra security so that Narada will never enter. But Narada was very, very smart. And all the people in the palace are virtually sleeping. Narada gate crashes and enters as these second installment, 1,000 children of Daksha. He says, your brothers are enjoying unbelievable level of mystical happiness, mystical joy, divine bliss, which even 1% of that you are not able to enjoy in this fort called as the palace. Now silently walk away from the back gate, and I will give the direction to you. Reach the Meru Mandara Parvata, start doing the tapasya. Second installment of 1,000 people in the midnight were shouted out from the palace by Narada. Early morning, Daksha gets up, whole search out for the entire palace, fort, city. No, nobody could be seen. Then he calls his wife and tells, you may have any number of boys as your children, they will always be like this. They look after their well-being, their welfare, their personal things. So this time, third installment, don't think of the male children. We will have beautiful girls, because they will remain with us. They will be affectionate. They love the parents. They understand our sensibilities. They understand our aspirations, and they will never let down us. So we will go for third installment. In the third installment, 60 girls are created. 60 girls are created, and it does lalana, palana, poshana, takes care, nurtures them, cultures them. They become beautiful, matured, and very lovely girls. Now he has to get all these 60 people, 60 girls married. So he gives 27 girls to Chandra. They are Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini. They are all children of Daksha. These 27 girls are given to Chandra. Then the 13 are given to Kashyapa. In that, Kashyapa had Vinata, Kadru, Patangi, Yamini, Aditi, Diti, Danu, Kastha, Arishtha, Surasa, Ili, Ila, Munani, Krodavasha, Tamra, Surabhi, Sarama, Timi. These are all these 13 wives of Kashyapas. Aditi is the first wife. Her children are Adityas, gods. The first fellow was Devendra. Diti is the second wife of the Kashyapa. Her children, Daityas. Father is the same. Both for the gods and the Rakshasas, father is the same, Kashyapa. Aditi and Diti. Then Danu is the third wife of Kashyapa. Danu's sons, Danavas. Kastha is the fourth wife. Her sons are horse and similar type of animals. Arishtha, she was very beautiful and enchanting. Kashyapa's most beautiful wife, Arishtha. Her children, Gandharvas. Surasa, another wife of Kashyapa. Children, Asuras. Ila was like a beautiful tree, very beautiful tree, plant. And she got children. All the plant and plantations and the trees, everything, they are the children of this Ila. Father, Kashyapa. Muni. Even though the name of the wife of Kashyapa is Muni, still she was fascinatingly beautiful. Her children, Apsaras. Then there was a wife for Kashyapa. Name itself is self-descriptive. Krodhavasha. Her name is Krodhavasha. Still he managed with her. The scorpion, snake, python, they are all. Tamra, another flying woman, flying lady of Kashyapa, always wild. Wild birds like eagle, owl. Surabhi, soft, smooth, domestic, most pet and favorite of many. Surabhi was the wife of Kashyapa. The cows and all such animals like cows, they are the children. But Kashyapa had one wife, always whom she was chained, placed in a very secured chamber. Very wild, very explosive, inflammable, highly violent. That wife of Kashyapa, that name Sarama. Sarama, tiger, lion, such wild beasts are her children. Timi, she was another Timingila, aquatic animals. They are all children of Kashyapa, Timi. They got married and they went, all of them they went, and now 60 girls they have gone, 10,000 they gone, another 1,000 they gone, only husband and wife here, old people. But that's not the problem. The problem is who should be the next king of the country. Only that particular dynasty person should rule, not anybody and everybody in the street. Then there are no people. Somebody reminded him, your grandfather and your grandfather and your grandfather and his grandfather's brother, elder brother is still there and is still doing tapasya in the forest. He is there. Go and fetch him. Who is that? Vena, Angaraja, Dhruva, Uttanapada's brother, Priyavrata. Priyavrata is still actually doing tapasya in the forest. Go and bring him. So he comes to the forest. In the cave was closed, doors of the caves were closed, and he calls from outside, please come out, start ruling. No answer. He requests Swayambhu Manu, the eldest personality in the entire generation, to come and convince Priyavrata to come out to the tapasya. Swayambhu Manu comes and tells, your responsibility, your duty, your dharma, the first dharma, first responsibility is to rule the country. Please come. Says, my respects to you, my regards to you, but for centuries, completely I am engrossed and involved in the tapasya. I am conditioned, my mind, my intellect, my body, my buddhi, my chitta, my chaitanya, whole system within is conditioned for tapasya, and it doesn't accept, it cannot adjust external environment. Please, excuse me. Now Swayambhu Manu invites Brahma. Brahma comes, stands in front of that hermitage, and he orders now, Priyavrata, understand one important principle of life. What is the principle? Wherever you are, it is the mind which is doing the tapasya, not the place. If you are in the forest and for thousands of years you are doing the tapasya, but your mind is still wandering the shopping centers, is it tapasya? But a person may be in the city, in the urban area, in the palace, in a wonderful, beautiful apartment, in a wonderful bungalow, but his mind is in deep forest, thinking always God, doing kirtans, dancing to the God, looking at Krishna, and the mind is in Vrindavan, mind is in Gokula, mind is in Madhura, mind is in Dwaraka, only body is in Bangalore. That is the life. So if you have the control over your senses, why are you perturbed, why are you bothered whether it is a forest or palace? It doesn't matter. Only when you are not having confidence, you have got full control over the senses, then you have to hang on here. So you have done so much of tapasya, please come. Even if it is a palace, still your mind will be doing tapasya. Come over there. take charge. When Priyavrata comes, Priyavrata takes charge. Priyavrata rules the kingdom extraordinarily best. Even though he was a tapasvi, once he takes the administration into control, he rules very powerfully, very judiciously. One day, when he is coming out of the palace after the court hours, at 6 o'clock in the night, he looks at the sky, sun sets. Suddenly, darkness everywhere. And many of his people, there was no street light at that time. It was total dark, pitch dark, and people were immediately running away to their houses. And he thought, it is my kingdom. I've done so much of tapasya. In my kingdom, all the 24 hours, people should enjoy, people should experience sunlight, and they should be having delight. 24-hour sunlight. Then ministers, amatyas, rishis, advisors, they come and they say, it is nature. Nature, 12 hours, wherever you are, 12 hours, daylight, 12 hours, pitch dark, night and day, night, day. After night, it is day. After day, it is night. After dark, it is light. After light, it is dark. That is life, that is nature. Then Priyavrata says, nature is given by the God, okay. We are created by the God. Our mind and intellect created by the God. Our brain created by the God. We can control internals. We can control externals also. Then they say, we can't understand. He says, it is possible. It is not the scientist, it is not the NASA. It is the Priyavrata who has given the first concept, mind. If you mind your mind can mind you and your future. Mind your mind. He says, our mind can do wonders, it can pluck thunder. I can give 24-hour light to my people in my kingdom. Then rishis say, thousands of years we have seen the world, impossible. Then he says, impossible is a conditioned factor. If you come out of condition, everything is possible in this world. Lot of logic takes place. Then they say, prove it. Immediately he calls the divine carpenter, gives him a specification to prepare a ratha, chariot. That ratha has been completely prepared now. For the wheel of the ratha, he places the solar mirror for the first time in the history of the world. It is there in the Bhagavad. Solar mirror positioned to the wheels of the chariot, created by Priyavrata. Then he asks the rishis, which is the place where the sunrise takes place. On the top of a particular hill, they showed this is the where he emerges first. Then he goes there, he sits on the ratha, waits for the sunrise. Sun comes moving, he will never stop. The moment he comes, along with the ratha, Surya ratha, Priyavrata's ratha moves with the same galloping speed, the same spirit. While moving from the Surya ratha, the solar mirror of Priyavrata's ratha absorbs the heat and the light and the radiance. All the three are absorbed. It moves with the same speed. Evening, sun sets. While setting the sun, those who have gone to Agumbe or Chirapunji, you are seeing as if he is just coming. Within the next fraction of a second, he is out. He closes. So with sudden, terrific speed, sun sets. He cannot control the speed. With the same speed, Priyavrata's ratha is also moving and he hits the earth. It hits the earth. There's a big pit there. He brings the ratha out of it, brings it onto the top of the palace, turns the solar mirror towards his capital now projects the sunlight to the city. So from evening 6 o'clock till morning 5:30, sunlight released by the solar system of Priyavrata's chariot, it was done. First day. Second day, similar experience. Second day, huge pit in the evening in the sunset. And by the second day, the water which was there in all the canals, all the rivers and all the ocean, they just rushed there and it became a very huge water pond. Ultimately, it becomes a sarovara. Second day, second pit, another water, another sarovara. 7 days. 7 days, rishis, all of them, they came and they fall their feet. They say, we, for the first time in the history of this world, we are agreeing, we are accepting that human mind can control the nature. We agree, we sign, we endorse. Please stop your venture. For this, we have not brought you from the tapasya. You have to rule the kingdom. You have proved your point. We accept your point, and people are happy. You have given experimentation, 24 light and delight for the people. That is sufficient. So he stops that. All the 7 pits which were filled with the water, they become Sapta Sarovaras. The land which was there in between them, they become Sapta Dvipas. And he had 10 sons, and 7 sons, they were made the kings of the Saptadvipas. Priyavrata's son is Agnidra. Agnidra's daughter is Purvachitri. Purvachitri was so beautiful, possibly the entire Vedic history, that beauty cannot be compared to any other beauty. And they give a small illustration. When Agnidra and this Purvachitri, immediately after the marriage, they have to go around the Agni. Agni Sakshi, they have to get married. The Agni who was there, the fire power, the fire Tejas, the fire god, that Agni who was there, who looked at Purvachitri, he started loving Purvachitri. That was the beauty of Purvachitri. Then immediately he got alerted and it did not continue, fortunately. They had 9 children. And the first one called Nabhiraja. His wife was Meru Devi. They did tapasya. Lord appeared. When the God appeared, they said that we want a most beautiful, most vibrant, most radiant, extraordinarily great child like you. Then Paramatma says, if I create another person like me, with all my power, with all my strength, with all my capabilities, I am creating a competitor for me. So, I don't want to create a competitor. I myself will come as your son. So, he is born as their son. He was called as Rushabha. Rushabha was very valiant, very vigorous, very powerful, very vibrant, and mystical. He had mystical powers. And the crops and the food and the happiness and the peace of mind and the prosperity and the progress and the plenty in the entire kingdom was so great. Devendra from Devaloka started feeling jealous. Even in our Devaloka, people are not enjoying so much, they are enjoying there. He felt jealous. Then Devendra was so cunning. If I give rain, then there will be food, harvest, food, plenty of food, people will be having food, they will be happy, they will be healthy, they will be growing, they will be prosperous. If there is no rain, there is no water, no planting, no crops, no harvest, no food, people will become weak, people become meek, they all start criticizing him, commenting, they blast him. I want that situation. So Indra stopped rains, but Rishabha laughed at this. He said that from my Yoga Shakti, I create rain. Look into this. He created rains, he created fantastic crops, and people are more happy, immensely happy now than what he was. Now Devendra descended all the way from Devaloka, came to Rishabha's palace, asked Rishabha, extremely sorry, but I am still happy. Why? I could understand how capable you are, how great you are. I request you to accept my daughter Jayanti as your wife. That Devendra, who was disliking, who was hating, who was so jealous, who created so much a problem for Rishabha, now feels happy to give his daughter Jayanti. And Devendra's daughter Jayanti becomes the wife of Rishabha. From Rishabha and Jayanti, they get 100 children. 100 children, 100 boys. And the very first one was Bharata. What you call now as the Bharata Varsha. That Bharata Varsha name comes from this Bharata. This Bharata. And what was the training and samskara that Rishabha gave to 100 children? He was asking all the first 10 people one line, next 10 people another line, next 10 people another line, next 10 people another line. Then the elder in that will be sitting first. So 10 people. Among these 10 people, the eldest was the Bharata. Bharata, immediately after the father, he was sitting like that. Then 9 people. Then followed by other 89 people. These 9 people who were leaders, except Bharata, they were called Kavi, Hari, Antariksha, Prabuddha, Pipalayana, Avirhotra, Drumila, Chamasa, Karabhajana. They become Mahabhagavatakaras. In the 11th and 12th chapter of Bhagavata, their explanation, their narration, their advice, their direction, their Margadarshana, extraordinarily mystical and great. And all other 81 people, they did the Bhagavad Dharma Prachara, Yagna, Yaga, remained completely spiritual. And what type of training he was giving? What was the preschool or kindergarten training Rishabha was giving? Bhagavata explains that. He makes all the 100 people to sit there. He himself was training, even though he was a king, no private tuition, no teacher. Father, he says in Bhagavata, every father, if you have the children, you may be President of India, you may be Prime Minister, you may be chairman, you may be a very big business tycoon. For your children, except you, no other person can give the sincere time, loving time. So you have to give time. You have to give culture. You have to nurture them. You have to give samskara. So he was a role model. He made all the 100 people to sit there. What was the upadesha that he was giving? Mahat sevam dvaramahur vimukte tamodvaram yogishtam sangi sangam mahantaste samachittaha prashantaha vimanyavasu hruda sadhavaye. He says, Mukti Dwara, Vaikuntha Dwara, which is the main gate of Vaikuntha Dwara, I say, Mahat Seva, Mahajjana Seva, Bhagavata Seva, Sajjana Seva, Guru Seva. That is the main entry point for Mukti Loka. Tamodvaram Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. If you want to enter into, you have to stoop down to the Tamoloka, Andhantamas, then you need not bother, just enter into Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. All bad people, worst people, obscene people, absurd people, vulgar people, just have the company of these people. For few days, it is sufficient. We will slip into this Adha Patala. Then Mahat Seva. Who are the Mahatmas? Who are the Mahabhagavatkaras? Mahantaste Samachittaha, Prashantaha, Vimanyamaha, Suhrudaha, Sadhavaye. Who are those people? Samachittas, balance of mind, Viveka, Vivechana, Vidya, understanding, avoiding misunderstanding. Prashantaha, peaceful, peace within. Peaceful with the very body. Nirmatsaraha, with no jealousy, no prejudice, no partiality, no irritation, no matsara. Then raga, roga, vashahina. No, they have complete control over the senses. Then sadhavo, ye. They will not be having kopa, krodha, And they will be Satkarmashilas, Sadhu Swabhava people. They are the people. But to get such people very, very difficult, very rare. It is Durlabha. But you must sincerely try to get into one such person. Through that you will be having continuous line of such people. You get into the company of the entire tribe. Once you enter into that Mahat Seva Bhagya, then you are done with this. You will be having Artha, Vishanna, Shitilascha, Bhitaha, Goresha, Vyadishu, Vartamana, Sankirtya, Narayana Shabda Matra, Vimukta Dukha Sukhina Bhavantu. Be there with the people who will be chanting Narayana, will be saying Krishna, will be saying Madhava, Govinda, Srinivasa, Krishna. If those who are effortlessly, naturally, continuously, incessantly chanting the name of the, be in the company of those people, you are already there. See, in 1996-97, I was giving my lectures on Bhagavata in Australia, Sydney. One Australian came and he was sitting regularly. He was an ISKCON fellow. Then after the lecture, I delivered a lecture on Bhagavata. On the day when I was delivering lecture on Priyavrata, I was simply crying and crying and crying and crying. At the end of that, he came and he had interaction with me for 20 minutes regarding Priyavrata's incident, what happened to Priyavrata and all that. Then I just told one thing. Priyavrata had care and concern for his people. He had a palace, he had wealth, he had everything. But still, he wanted all the people in his capital should enjoy the light, delight, enlightenment, happy, peace, care and concern for his people. That matters a lot. Then he told he has read 14 times Bhagavata. But this Priyavrata, I am attached more to that fellow. Don't believe what happened then. His name is Paul Rodney Turner. Next time, after 1.5 years, I went to Sydney. I did Bhagavata. He came there. He waited till the completion of my lecture. Then when every event, he came. He opened his file, gave a certificate to me, showed that certificate. What is it? I have changed my name legally into Priyavrata. I requested Australian government to change my name into Priyavrata. He changed it. That is just the beginning of the story. Story continues. The care and concern for the people, Priyavrata's care and concern the people. As much as possible, I have to do for the people. I have to pour my heart, throw my heart into the people. This line, it catched him like anything. Then, next time, after 3 years I went. He had opened a very big office, Priyavrata's office in Sydney. What was the office? Food for Life global project he had opened. Food for Life. One ordinary fellow, not Indian, not Sanatani, did not know anything. He just read 14 times Bhagavata. He was more fascinated on Priyavrata, took that particular line, catching the edge of the thread of that line, care and concern for my people. He started this program, Food for Life Global Project. Then, in the different parts of Australia, New Zealand, and near neighboring countries, he went there, contacted the rich people, and surveyed the poorest of the people, hungry people. Started fundraising, giving the food for those people. Then, second stage, he went to Vietnam, Korea, and such other countries. Then he went to Canada and America, England, France, Switzerland, fundraising and giving food. He became extraordinarily food expert. When tsunami hit Japan, from different parts of the world, he could mobilize 6,000 cooks who could cook a different type of foods, and so much of vessels and equipments and kitchen equipments, so much of vehicles and government formalities clearing. Took all these people to Japan, dared to enter into those places which was terribly hit by tsunami. Every day, the morning, in the afternoon, and the evening, he was supplying the food for those affected people, aggrieved people, drowned people. Unbelievable. 10 years back, when I was in Virginia, Washington, I got an email. I've shifted my base from Sydney to Virginia. If possible, please visit me. Then he has conducted a survey in America. How many poor people are there? How many hungry people are there? Homeless people are there? In Canada and in all the Western countries. In England, he says England is under big slum. And he has organized such a beautiful international food program, and world declared him, UNESCO declared him as a food yogi. Food yogi. He has written a 320 pages book called as Yoga of Eating. Yoga of Eating. He was the father of modern vegan systems. Taking the edge of the thread from him, Madhu Pandit Das and Chanchalapati Das of our Bangalore ISKCON, they conducted a survey in America. How many people are really enjoying food all the 3 times? For their surprise, for dismay, it is tragic. Millions of people in America are starving every day. State after state has been declared as homeless, severely homeless. Last month, October 28th, ISKCON Bangalore, they have taken entire their paraphernalia to New Jersey. They inaugurated World Food Movement in New Jersey, New York. Every day, from that day onwards, they supply to the students from different countries who are studying in different universities of America the food, the best food, the hot food, very healthy food, nutritious food, students and professors in the campuses, homeless and hungry and needy in the states and towns, and the Mexican people who work a lot, who don't have money. Such people. Now immigration is problem is going on. They work a lot for America. Americans themselves, they don't work. And they don't want others also not to work. This is a big issue. Now, Bangalore ISKCON has taken up such a big project, Akshay Patra success. It has. And they requested me, because I got a lot of contacts over there, they requested me. So last October 28th, I made my people in New York, New Jersey, Virginia, and in all such places to go there personally. I requested Puttiga Swamiji Mutt also in New Jersey, and the entire battalion, they went there to inaugural function. It's a great success. So one Australian who has no connection whatsoever was so much enamored and enchanted by one word, Priyavrata, and took a leap out of it, created a world revolution. So Priyavrata works even today for that matter. And finally, Rishabha tells to his people, his children, Sarvatra Madhva Vichakshirena Gnanena Vignana Virajidena. What is Vignana? Rishabha for the first time has given the definition for Ahimsa and Vignana. It is for the first time it was this Rishabha who introduced the concept of non-violence, Ahimsa. That is why Rishabha was considered as first Tirthankara in the entire non-violent system of Jainism. He was the forerunner and introducer, Pradhishthapanacharya of the Jainism, this Rishabha. He says, Sarvatra Madhva Vichakshirena Dhanena Vignana Virajitena. Means, what is Vignana? What is science? He defines anything which helps you in knowing what is truth, what is reality, what is grand reality, what is ground reality, what is ultimate reality, which is going to give solace to you, which is going to give peace of mind to you, which is going to give ultimate happiness to you, which is going to give blissful joy to you. Forget about this world. You must be peaceful. You must be at peace. You must be happy. You must always be blissful. You must experience the divinity. And whatever knowledge that gives all these things, that is Vijnana. Rishabha tells this. Every other type of accumulation of knowledge is only for getting some penny, for small items like materialistic accumulation. In the last stages of his life, he becomes too old. For the first time in Indian scripture, Karnataka's mention is made in Bhagavata, in this chapter. Karnataka, in the final stage, will become so old. By the time he had developed a lot of non-violent type of Shishyas, Jainism beginning, first Tirthankara. He comes to South India. He comes to Karnataka. Which part of Karnataka? Bhagavata says, Kankata Karnataka, Dakshina Karnataka, and Kotachacha Lopavane. It is this, that is Kotachadri, Kollur, Udupi, Subramanya, these area, this Rishabha comes in final stage. Which is the last message given before his disappearance. Last message to his Shishyas. Gurur na sasyat, swajano na sasyat, pita na sasyat, janani na sasyat, daivam na tatyat, napatischa sasyat, namo chayidya, samupeta bhrutyam. Meaning is, all those who will be helping a lot for your body growth, your physical growth, your lifestyle growth, your material growth, your educational growth, your certification growth, they are not your parents. It may be guru, it may be father, it may be mother, it may be brother, it may be sister, wife, husband. Those who will be working and putting efforts and continuously helping you in developing your physique, your lifestyle, your assets, your accumulation, material wealth, and all these things. Somebody who will be developing the body and the abhimana on the body, they are not the sincere, true relatives, true friends and true parents. Then who are the friends, who are the gurus and who are the parents? Those who will be guiding you, directing you, helping you, training you to look into internals, and those will be helping in the growth and development of your Atma inside, Atma Belavanege, understanding of Paramatma Gnana inside. Those who will be helping for the growth of Atma inside, understanding of the knowledge of the Paramatma, ultimately getting some type of divine solace, experiencing that mystical solace of which you can get in Vaikuntha and Muktiloka here itself. If anybody helps you in attaining a part of it, they are your parents, they are your guardians, they are your caretakers. Rishabha's disappearance, in those periods, those are the times in which our Sanatana Dharma says the first elder son is the next king. Who was the first person? Bharata. Bharata was the great leader because leadership was created by his father, all the 100 children. Then after the disappearance, he becomes the king. As a king, he was extraordinarily best king, efficient king, and the impact and the influence of that king Bharata was so much, the entire Varsha was called as Bharata Varsha. That was the reeling and sweeping impact of this Bharata. But after 60, now even after 80 we don't bother, we want to hanker into these material things. At 60, whosoever they are, wherever they are, whatever may be their balance, whatever may be their assets, whatever may be their balance, whatever may be their glory, simply one midnight they were renunciating everything, running to the forest, sitting for tapasya. Bharata, even though he was the most popular king in the entire dynasty, still after 60, without bothering anything, just moved to the forest, performed tapasya. He went to Gandaki, banks of the Gandaki river, sat for tapasya, intense tapasya. I was a great king, a great leader, a great son, a great brother. Now he sits tapasya, his tapasya, greatest tapasvi. His tapas was so extraordinary. He is sitting on the bank of a river. There is Alasharirvani, Akashavani, voice from the sky. Possibly a matter of within few hours, few minutes, Devaratha will descend. They will welcome you. You will be taken to the celestial heights. He was excited, he was delighted, he was elated. He was just looking like this, looking on the bank of the river he is sitting, looking like that, waiting for the arrival of the flight. Suddenly there was some sound here, terrific sound. Some animal is rushing towards him. Then he bends down his head, looks back. A deer, a female deer, a fully pregnant female deer is running, rushing, terrible speed, galloping speed, frightening speed. Then he looks completely now backwards. A tiger is chasing it, about to pounce upon that and bounce upon that, eat the pregnant deer. It is frightened. With all the force at its command, it is rushing, and with the same speed it comes now here. Did not think, did not foresee there is a river, flooded river, flowing river. It falls into river now. Deer falls into river. Looking that it's a trap has missed. Tiger roars now, roaring of the tiger on the one hand, falling to the river, and the flood that was there, water gushing, all that immediately made the mother deer, its stomach was broke open, and the small deer, the tender deer, smallest deer, just jumped out of it, and the mother deer fell dead. It was taken in the current of the flow. This fellow, anticipating the arrival of the flight to go to the Loka any point of time, suddenly looks at the smallest kid deer, doesn't know swimming, smallest one, flood is coming, another 1 minute, it will wash away, it will die out of natural sympathy, natural compassion, out of innocent, natural care of a tapasvi, just jumps into the water, takes that, holds that, brings it onto the bank, puts it on the shoulder, washes it, then he takes it to his ashram and gives a pat on that, the touch, the feel, dear, my dear, my dear. Then he thinks, if I leave that, the tiger may be hiding somewhere here, it may come and eat it, so let me wait here. He forgot about arrival of the flight. He forgot about Akashavani. He forgot about going to another loka. For him, jinke. For him, deer. My dear, my dear. Then in the evening, he has to fetch milk for that. So going search for milk. Morning, taking care of it. Then taking it walking. Always taking it, caring for it, and patting on that. My dear, completely my dear. Greatest tapasvi like Bharata, most samskaravanta like Bharata, highly cultured and nurtured tapasvi like Bharata, whom the Akashavani and the gods have actually given a call that within hours we are going to take you, just by the seeing and touching of one ordinary deer, loses control and becomes a trap for it. Now, I told death doesn't care and death doesn't spare anybody. For him also the old age, death came. At the time of the death, so much of samskara and direction, teaching given by Rishabha he forgets. So much of tapasya, sutras, literature he forgets. My dear, if I die, who will take care of you? Dear, what happens to you if I die? So he was thinking of deer, looking at deer, calling deer, shouting deer, he dies. What Bhagavad Gita says, whatever you think at the dying moments of your life, you are going to get it, you are going to become that. Immediately he got into another birth as a deer only. But one great thing was, God has blessed him with the memory of the last Janma. Where I was, where I fell. So he became alert, he became attentive, he became vigilant, he became cautious. He never bothered to see anything, and he went only towards the rishis, ashrams, and havan, whom they are doing, only that he was seeing. Whatever prasad that they are actually living, only that he was taking. He was breathing that air which was coming from the ashrams. So even as a deer, he could now get back that samskara, and he could consume that. Now the deer dies. The deer dies. In the next Janma, he is going to be born as the son of a Vipra Dampatis in Sindhu Desha. And he was named by his parents as Bharata. But once again, he has got a wonderful blessing with the God, memory of the earlier two Janmas. Now he becomes very, very alert. No looking into others, no talking with others, no interaction with others. Even when the parents called him, and we are doing Upanayana to you, please pronounce Gayatri. He says, I can't do anything. So, no. Then parents died. Brothers, this fellow is more a liability for the family. Just eats and sits here, doesn't do, doesn't talk, doesn't care. So throw him out. He was thrown out. When he was thrown out, he did not bother. He was not perturbed. He was not disturbed. He was sitting on the border side of the road. Somebody in the village who knows that he is a stout person, a strong person, they were inviting him to do some labor work in their lands. If they give food, he was eating. If they are not giving, he was not asking about. He was not bothered about that also. Because he was completely inactive, non-transactional, non-talking to anybody. This Bharata was called as Jada Bharata. And at one point he says, don't talk to anybody. Why you are not acting? The moment I start talking to somebody, if they come near to me, if they open their mouth, from their mouth, it is not the voice, it is not the sound, it is not the vibration, it is their samskara which comes and touches to me. Then he also says, I don't want to see anybody, because once I start seeing a person in their eyes, eye to eye, from their eyes, all their asamskara, kusamskara, they will transmit it to me. So, this Jada Bharata, he did not do anything. One day, when he was sitting, a robber's team came. Leader of the robber, who did not have the issue, had brought a priest also. Priest told Dr. Robber, if you give a Narabali of a young person, a dynamic person, very healthy person, robust person, and you must capture him, and that fellow should not actually do any hostility, animosity, he should not struggle, he should not fight, voluntarily he has to give up. And if he gives in, if you bring such a person who voluntarily accepts, if you give the Narabali of that such a youth, you will get a very strong, stable, stamina-powered, powerful son for you. That robber always had that type of illusion, so he brought the priest also. Team comes, here a fellow sitting, a stout fellow, a strong fellow, and whatever prescription given by the priest, it matches here. So immediately he was picked up. There is no quarrel, no retaliation, no rejection, no fight, automatically. So he was very happy. He brought him to the Durga temple. Then he was this robber leader asked his people, give him beautiful sandalwood bath. Then after sandal bath, give him sandal paste of body. Then afterwards, give him 37 course beautiful dinner, last dinner of the life. So dinner, everything is over. Now put the garlands to that fellow. Then bring him in front of the Durga Vigraha. Then he summons the Purohit. And the Purohit says, when I start chanting the first shloka, remove the sword. When I start chanting the second shloka, lift the sword. When I start chanting the third shloka, close your eyes, cut the head. At one stroke, it should be separated. Next 9 months, you will have a beautiful child. So accordingly it is done. Now the first shloka is over, takes it out. Second shloka is over, lifts it. Looking all these things, the Durga was the Vigraha, looked at this innocent, most spiritual master, a tapasvi, is being butchered by this fellow. Within 1 second, fraction of a second, Durga in the Vigraha jumped out of the Vigraha with in Ashtabhujas, all types of swords, everything, and they cut the heads of the robber and the entire team. And now this person gets up, puts a namaskara, thank you, he walks back. He is sitting on the bank, on the border of that road once again. Now in the Pallaki, the king of Sindhu Desha, Raghuganda Raja, is going. 8 people are carrying that massive royal Palanquin. One fellow, he had developed a stomach ache, so 7 people, 3 people this side and 4 people that side. It was imbalanced. They want rhythmic, balanced carrying of the Pallaki of the king. So they wanted one man. So they request king, so we want a strong person, a stout person, a heavy person who can carry the Pallaki along with us. He says, look into anybody who is in the street. This fellow was sitting. They say, here is a person, he matches to our prescription, sir. Take him. That fellow was, no rejection, no refutation. He comes. They placed the bamboo on the shoulders of the fellow. 4 people this side, 4 people this side. Now the procession starts. Suddenly, Bharata remembers the tuition given by Rishabha in the classes every day. It may be animal, it may be any small thing, it may be insect, it may be small ant. But when you are putting your foot, be careful. For you, it may be small ant. For ant, it is life and the future. So, if there is an ant going, small insect going, you jump, but don't put your step there. That lesson he remembers now. When it's good. Suddenly, one disciplined line of ants are going there. He is the master of non-violence and the great son of the non-violent Tirthankara Rishabha. Immediately jumps with all his strength. One jump here, bump there for the king. King shouts, who that fellow? Then they say, we are all carrying with all the rhythms, this new fellow. Tell him to behave properly. Then immediately another line, in forest except that what else will be there? He gives another jump. Then that fellow, his head hit to that bamboo there and blood started going. He stops that Palanki. Who is that fellow? Call him here. I am the king of the Sindhu Desha. I am the Raghuganda Raja. You are an ordinary fellow. You dare to actually to disturb me. Behave properly. Oh, you are carrying me for thousands of miles. You are a very weak fellow. You are a very meek fellow. You don't have strength to stay. I say, don't play all these games. Carry properly. Then it moves on. Procession moves on. Once again, another type of animal came. Immediately he jumps there. And now this time, he is severely affected. Just stops it. Calls this fellow. I say, with whom you are playing the game? I am the king, I am the emperor, I can do wonders. Here itself I can cut your head, I can kill you, I can butcher you. Behave properly. Till now, with anybody he had not opened his mouth. For the first time Jadabharata opens his mouth. Okay, you are telling you are the king of the country. Which king? Were you king when you were there in the womb of your mother? Were you the king? When you are playing small games in the field outside the palace with the small children, were you the king then? Now you say, you claim, you declare that you are the king. Within next 15 minutes, another 20 or 25 robbers come here and they drag you down, they actually rope you to a tree here, and they burn you, and the tree is burnt and you are burnt. Will these people differentiate the ashes? These are the ashes of our king, these are the ashes of the tree. What type of king you are, I say? There are thousands and thousands of kings who have shouted and declared that I am the king, whole country belongs to me. They put all inscriptions. Now nobody knows who they are. Entire world, not this kingdom, entire world and entire planet, entire earth, all the Brahman, all the lokas belongs to only one king, and for that king only my head will be bowing down, not to idiots and rascals like you. Then he says, you say that I'm carrying the palanquin, which is actually having the king of this country. I'm not carrying anybody, I say. The earth is carrying my legs, my foot is carrying my knee is carrying my thighs are carrying the stomach carrying waist is carrying chest is carrying shoulders are carrying bamboo is carrying palanki is carrying a body is carrying a mad mind, which has a illusion, madness. It is a king. I'm not carrying anybody. I don't care for anybody. For me, there is only one king. He is the king of all the kings. He is the king of all the worlds. Only for him my head will bow down, not to fellows like you. When this came from a very ordinary person, he jumps out of the palanki, falls at the feet of Jadabharata, says that I was going to Kapila Mahamuni for getting the Upadesha. I don't know whether Kapila Mahamuni himself has actually taken this form. Are you Kapila Mahamuni? Are you Gautam Muni? Are you Kanada? Who are you? Then he prays, he requests Jadabharata, please teach me Brahma Vidya. Jadabharata teaches him Brahma Vidya. He says, I just concluded with one thing. Who is the king? He gives the definition. King is the one who can rule his senses from within. Anybody who has got complete control and who can rule, who can administer his senses, he is the king and he is the monarch. Then, what is the asset and wealth? Wealth is a protection hand appearing continuously from the God. That is the wealth. These are the two important Brahma Vidya. He says the Brahma Vidya. All the people who say that I protect you, I preserve you, I take care of you, don't bother about the I will know. Nobody can do this hand by the him. If it appears, that is the protection. What, sir? Can we conclude? Or can we have 5 minutes? 5 more minutes, you permit? Okay. There was a very great scholar, Vedic scholar, traditional Vedic scholar, and he had learnt all the Vedas, Upanishads, Sakhyana, Vyakhyana, Bhashya, Gita, everything. He was a master, and he was a very traditional person, and he was doing puja every day morning, 3 o'clock, he was getting up and he was taking a bath in the river, and he was doing all the pujas in the muddy, and old parents were there. He was doing Pada Puja for the parents. He was taking care of them. He had wife, children. He was taking care of them. Then he was performing Archana, Abhisheka, Naivedya, Arati. Then he was feeding to the parents. Then he was feeding to his family. Then he was feeding to all the people there. Then he was taking the food. Then he was calling all the people in the village. He was doing Kirtan, Nartan and Pravachan, everything. Like that he was continuing. One day morning, early morning at 5 o'clock, he goes into the forest to fetch the flowers and fruits for puja. And when he was actually plucking the flower, behind the tree, there was very lilting, lusty talk, lusty voices of one female voice, one male voice. Very lusty, very attractive. This Vedic scholar, a great Pandit, pious man, a tapasvi, his ears made him to lend his ears to those lusty, lilting voices of male and female. Then he listened to those words, very, very horrible words, obscene, vulgar, lusty talks, intoxicated talks of a woman and a gentleman. And now it was here, it forced the eyes and he silently, slowly moved and just took two branches of the tree, looks into that, one male, female, in a different lusty posture, his eyes completely looking into that. Or sometime, gentleman gets up, goes out. This lady gets up, goes nearer to the house, enters into the house. Somehow this fellow, so much of samskara, so much of knowledge, runs there, rushes there, stands near the door, about to enter into that house. She looks back, here this scholar, she knew this fellow, said, no, you cannot come to our house, you cannot come, it will be bad omen for us, please stay back, you cannot come. No, I've seen you there, I've seen you like that, I want you. Forgetting everything, within 1 second complete samskara is out. One tempting scene can drag any tapasvi to any lowest levels. I will. He was so much pestering. She had no alternative. She said, okay, I will take you in. You will be allowed inside my house on two conditions. What is that? The moment you come here, you have to forget completely your past, your family, everything. Number two, you have to take care of me and my family in future completely. Agree, enter, otherwise get lost. Now he had become blind. He has become mad. He had become lusty. Said, I don't care for all that. I want you. Entered there, entered into her, had a first child, had a second child. Except puja and the Vedic scripture, he did not do any job. So he was stealing. He became a thief. He became a robber. He became a looter. He became a gangster. Ultimately, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, big family, and he created all that. They want a lot of money. So he became murderer also. Now he has got 10 children. That was the only entertainment. The fellow did not have anything externally exposed. He had 10 children. Last child's name is Narayana. And now all those people, they have become elderly people. They got their own jobs, their own responsibilities, their own different areas of activities. All of them they went. This fellow, 88-year fellow, dungeon room, dark room, only one small window is there. And the last fellow is a small child, Narayana. Now that fellow, he is still lying there on the bed in that room. Suddenly, on the window, there was some dark movement. And he looks at dark people, two dark hands, having a dark bag. Hands were there, hands went into the bag inside, and they took out something from that, and they came nearer to the edge of the window. Those hands of black people having something in their hand, ready to throw that into him. Now, 1 second he realizes they are the Yamadutas, it is the Yamapasha, next second I am going to die. Immediately there is nobody there and he has forgotten everything. Last child, Narayana, he calls. Narayana. He was intending, thinking, planning to call the last child Narayana. But when the world started moving, immediately remembered Narayana Sukta. That Narayana Vigraha, that Narayana Puja, Narayana Anugraha. Immediately tears rolled down. Narayana. Next second, Artha, Vishanna, Shidlascha Bhitaha, Gorecha Vyadisha Vartamana, Sankirtya, Narayana Shabda Matram, Vimukta Dukkha Sakina Bhavantu. Within next second, Vishnu Dutas arrived there. They took back the hands of the Yamadutas. They told them to take back Yamapasha. They said that we are ordered and ordained by Yama to take the life of this fellow. They said that he has pronounced the word Narayana. That is the cosmic passport and cosmic visa. We are going to be security for him. No power in the earth can touch him. He becomes a Narayana Bhakta. Now we are going to take care of him. He listens to these things. Here's where I was and where I fell. He got up in his 88th year, comes to Ashrama on the banks of Ganga River, Till the last breath, he was just Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. And he got moksha. That is Ajamila's story. With this, we will conclude. Tomorrow, we are having Narasimha Avatara, Samudra Manthan.